my menstrual phase and I feel like death. And I look like it too. Every day looks different, but today I have a few things I want to get done while still keeping in mind how I feel. Normally, I don't like making the bed first thing in the morning. I like to let the bed air out first and then I can tackle it later. Well, today is day 2 of my menstrual phase. It is something that I've been planning to talk about for a while now, and I think I'm going to do a mini series of a day in the life in every phase of the cycle. I think it's really important for Christian girls to understand their cycle and why they feel how they feel, and I think it's really important. So today is just a typical day in my menstrual phase day. You know, I'm super low energy. I woke up with cramps and, headache, back pain, all of these symptoms, but there is hope. We are going to make it a great day, and I'm going to teach you a couple of tips on how to make it better and how to feel better maybe throughout it. So yeah, come along with me. Stay hydrated. Today I have a few chores in mind I need to get done, but first I always try to tackle the dishes first. It is not my favorite thing to do, but we gotta get it done, and might as well do it with my pink gloves. After this, I needed to clean the cat's water fountains, and I had a whole conversation with hubby while we were trying to move a furniture piece, which I unfortunately did not record. So you are on your menstrual phase and you don't even know what that is. So I'm going to explain it to you extra simply. So the first day of your cycle is the first day you start bleeding, and the reason why it starts happening is because there was no fertilized egg, right? So you didn't get pregnant basically. And that means that your uterus lining is starting to shed, and that is what causes the bleeding. With that comes all of these hormones that are happening, which cause it to shed, right, to start bleeding, and there's symptoms that comes with it too. You probably will get bloating, cramping, increase in appetite, decrease in appetite, nausea, so many things, diarrhea, constipation, you name it, you name it. And with all of that, it's almost like a great sign though, because it means your body is working properly. I've heard some stories of some girls that have had other conditions, PCOS, all of these crazy conditions, which obviously may make your period look differently. But if you have a consistent period monthly and kind of like when it happens, which is something I suggest to do, is to track when you get your periods, and then you can see what phase you're in. But yeah, that's what normally happens. And it's not the worst thing to be on your menstrual phase, because I'm going to tell you a little bit of what you can do to make it just a little bit better. Okay, I just finished my walk of the day, and that is my tip number 1, is to move your body. It is super important, especially during the menstrual phase, to adjust your workouts to meet and sync in with your cycle. And yeah, today, I normally do my workouts in the morning, but today, because it was a weekend day, I decided to do it in the afternoon/nighttime, as you can see. I just finished, and I suggest you do the same. Make sure to move your body to help things flow better, and for you just to feel better. I think once you start, you will eventually feel good, but also listen to your body. If you don't feel it, don't do it during this phase. And my second tip is to make sure to eat properly during this phase. It is the perfect time to have iron. You're losing a lot of blood probably, and what better way than to having beef liver? Or if you can't do that, have iron supplements, and make sure to eat nutrient-dense foods, lots of leafy greens that can help you out. And yeah, we'll continue the night. So this is a typical day in my life in my menstrual phase, and I wanted to end it with a couple more tips and just some encouragement to you, because I feel like this topic is not talked about at all in the Christian community, especially right for younger girls. I didn't know anything about my cycle and how my body was designed. And now I do, and this is why I'm making this video, to show you how you can embrace every phase of your cycle. But yeah, another tip I have for you is simply, in this time, it is so important to do some type of self-care. Now, this is my opinion. I've noticed it really helps with my mood and just feeling better, because you kind of feel icky and you're in pain and all of these things. So I think taking the time to do some self-care, like skincare or a manicure or something at home, journaling. I love journaling now, so I do that especially during this phase, and stuff like that I think would really help you feel better during this phase. And another thing would be spend time with the Lord. It is something that I cannot encourage enough in any phase, obviously, but during this phase, something that helps me a lot is I like change. Every day looks very different with the Lord with me, but during this phase I typically lean towards just worshiping and being quiet and just listening to what he's saying and him speaking to me. And that's ultimately my favorite time of the day. And sometimes I do it in the morning, sometimes I do it at night, but it is very special, and I encourage you as a believer to do it, and to also, and like, he designed your body, so I feel like he completely knows and understands, like, there's just different waves of how you are with the Lord. So yeah, that's another thing. And lastly, be with your person. I feel like your menstrual phase is like winter time. I compare it like to seasons because it is the time to hibernate, to cozy up. You don't really want to do much. You don't want to, you just want to chill. And the best thing to do is to be with your spouse if you're married, obviously, and spend time with him. Like my favorite time is during my menstrual phase because I'm super lovey-dovey. My emotions are a little all over the place, so I appreciate my husband understanding and loving me through it. But we spend a lot of time together and talking, and obviously there's a lot of footage that I won't show you because we just end up going into these deep conversations. But it is definitely something I encourage you to do if you are married, to really make this time intentional, especially during your menstrual phase. So yeah, those are my tips for you today, and I'm gonna share with you just the last few things that I have in my mind because I couldn't think about this at any other point of the video. But here are a few of my favorite things to use during this phase. The first thing is a heating pad. It will save your life. It saves my life. I didn't know I needed it until my husband gifted it to me a few Christmases ago, and I use it every night now. It's like my favorite thing. It helps a lot with cramps and back pain. So that's number one. And then, like I said before, iron, make sure to have that supplement at all times during your menstrual cycle. And yeah, if you're like into tea, that's a thing. I don't really drink tea. I'm kind of like a coffee lover, kind of, but not really. I just like the taste. But yeah, like do fun drinks and whatever helps. Obviously, if you're feeling sick because your immune system's down during this time, tea does definitely help, and just do holistic things to help yourself out. So yeah, those are a few of my favorite things. Here are the pads that I use. I'll leave you the links below in the description, so if you're interested in getting any of them. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you all so much for joining me today in this day in the life. It is the first of many, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure to let me know in the comments if you like this format and what your favorite thing to do during the menstrual phase is, So yeah, I will see you in the next video.